to Space Engineers DIC expansion. I have been very busy here on the moon at Moon DIC headquarters, mining up a whole bunch of materials. If we just have a look in here. Oh, perfect. Okay. Okay, I've got a large cargo container for all the ingots. I've brought across some of the iron. There's still like 7 million on Mar, which I should probably transfer over at some point. Yeah, and then we've got some nickel, some silicon. I've got some silver, and it looks like I have used all the gold. We didn't have a great deal, but still. We do have a tiny little bit in one of the assemblers. And I've been producing these solar cells. And it looks like we don't even have enough to do one solar panel. God damn it. I'm gonna have to get some more gold. Well, I've got a whole bunch of gold. It's being processed. I made a quick entrance as well to the ship. Nice and quick. I like it. Seeing as we weren't using that side for anything, so sort of just made a little airlock. Okay, so gold. Yeah, we've got 81,000. It's just we need to process it. And because I took all the platinum out of this thing, Izzy's refining platinum because he thinks that we're desperate for it. And silicon. So I need to just leave the ingots in here and let the gold accumulate. Or I guess, I think there's a priority system. Inventory manager. I think he added a... Yes. So if we just uncomment that. Wait for it to initialize. Yep, now we're doing gold. Cool. I'll just have to remember to re-comment that when we've finished. But essentially that'll be good. That means I can keep taking the gold out and he'll keep producing it. Okay, so shit, what are we gonna do? Because I did want to make a solar tower before we started building the base. But we don't have enough, basically. All right, so what do we got? Yeah, we've only got 60. We need 64 for a panel. But essentially, one of these should produce 4 times the amount of electricity. So I'm hoping that will help us keep the size of this thing down and still make enough power to keep all this running, because we're starting to get a little bit low. When the assemblers are running, this goes down to about 2 hours. And once we start building the base, we're going to kick these assemblers into overdrive. What can I do here? How can I speed this up? Holy shit, we need 10 gold per solar cell. And we need 64 cells. So 640 gold per solar panel. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. To speed this up, we're going to go back home. Because I need to go there to get the cobalt anyway, because I haven't been able to find any on the moon, and I'm pretty sure Earth is the only place you can get cobalt from. Now, I haven't been able to find magnesium either. So, and I'm not 100% sure if Earth is the only place you can find magnesium, or it might be just rarer on the other planets. But either way, we'll go back, we'll get cobalt, magnesium, and gold. And then everything else I have in abundance here. We have a shitload of gold here. It's just, it's taken a long time to process. Actually, that's one thing I could do as well, is I could drop some platinum off there at the base. And get that to process just over the course of time. All right, that sounds like a plan. So I will get this thing prepped for flight and we will go back to base. I will see you guys soon. And that's it. We are secure. It took a couple of bounces before it locked. It's never done that before. And the solar tower looks skew-if. God damn it. Must have been a little bit too quick for it. Alright, I will see you guys back on Earth. Alright, welcome back, guys. Let's try to level out a little bit. There we go, she's locked. What the fuck's going on? Why am I taking damage? You stupid game. Why is the ship considered... Alright, whatever. I'll put my helmet on. Alright, welcome back, guys. We are back on the moon. Mars parked over there. And I've transferred all the stuff over. And I even put a couple of solar panels up. So yeah, each one of these can produce up to 480 kilowatts. So yeah, times 4, or 4 times the amount of a regular solar panel. All right, so I think what I'm gonna do is start building out this way, and piecing together our base, which is going to be a whole bunch of domes, basically. Oh, what I decided to do as well is I dropped off all the ore that we had on Mar, except for the platinum. I left some of that with us. But essentially, because we had so much of this stuff already refined, I just swapped it over. So I left all the silicon ore, nickel ore, and silver ore there, and then just brought all the ingots, which worked out really, really good. And I also came back with about 10 million ice as well. So we should be good on ice for a little while anyway. Alright, I don't think this slope is going to work for what I have in mind. And the footprint of all the domes are going to be a lot bigger than what I think that I need, because it's going to slope inwards. It's going to limit our usable space that we have in the middle. Actually, this could work. It could work, but I would need to continue that slope up for a little bit longer. Yeah, so that gives us a tint on the outside, which is what I want. No, that's not what I want. I need it to be... okay. I need it to be out one further. I don't want that step there. I want it to be flush. Actually, I want the support beam to be out a little bit further as well. I thought that was the case. All right, so yeah, we're just I guess we're just getting the design down at this stage. Actually, we could go with a half step there instead. Right? And let's get rid of that. And that, actually that means we get rid of that as well. And all of this crap. All right, so we do that, and then do we just tie it in like that? So essentially, I want these support beams to stick out a little bit past the window. I don't want everything to be super flush. So if we do that, we get a little half a step on the outside there. And then we can do that. So that keeps that all flush. Okay, I guess I better explain to you my idea. So I want to create these like glass domes. And in the ground here, I want blast doors that sort of slide up over the glass. So if like the base will have like a defense mode, essentially. So we can hit a button and then all these blast doors come up and protect protect the windows, I guess. I'm just thinking about the top windows now, because my first idea was to have everything sloped back on an angle like that. And that meant the blast door will come from out here and then slide up over the, like, basically the entire window. But if we're going to do this where we have a separate pitch, we're going to have two separate blast doors. One that comes up to protect this lower section, but then I need one to protect the top section as well. Unless we have those built into the roof somehow that slide out and over the top. I don't know, it's going to be tricky. And it means this footprint is going to have to be massive if we have to fit 4 big blast doors inside the roof. I don't know if I could actually engineer something like that. And if we do that angle there, this half a step isn't going to work for us. We're going to have to do a full step, because we can't transition into the other slope.
Energy low.
Yeah, so if we do it like that, we can then transition this one, and it'll be it'll look like it's on purpose, basically, which is what we're going for. It's a shame that it sticks out so much. Is it like that on both sides? I think it is. I think it's just a model. All right, so how's that look? Oh yeah, that's going to be huge. Huge amount of visibility. Even if we only do this single one here. But the original idea was to have multiple, pretty close to a glass ceiling. But now that we're going to have the blast door in the roof, I'm not sure if that's going to work. We could have the blast doors on rotors that sort of just like rotate up. The trouble is, like, I really wanted them to be hidden, and so I think that'd look really cool if they sort of like came out of a little slot and just slid down over the top of the window. I don't know. I'm gonna keep playing with some designs, and I will bring you guys back. All right, quick update, guys. So I've played around with an idea, and basically I don't like it. So I mean, it looks the way I wanted it to. It doesn't. It's going to be very difficult to encase this and make it look like one solid structure. But essentially, like, I had the rotor attached to this support brace, but the angle is off, because if I try to run it down at the same angle that this is, it's sort of offset because it wants to run down the middle where the glass actually is, and I need it to sit up above the glass. So I had to put it on a piston so I could adjust the offset. And that means Like somehow I need to encase this. Because obviously that's not going to be airtight at all. Whether I just maybe just have the ceiling go straight underneath or something, and then pretty all this up with some armor and stuff. We could do that, I guess. The other thing is we're gonna have this issue. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to do a lot of that. And basically it takes 8 years for it to settle down. So essentially we need to lock that down with the landing gear. And it's on some weird fucking angle. So how am I going to do that? Not to mention that the landing gear is massive. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not liking it. Not liking it at all. I like the way it looks. Don't get me wrong. Like it does look the way I wanted it to. And I'm pretty sure the bottom one that just slides up is going to be very simple. So I didn't bother doing that. This is the one that I'm going to have problems with. So that's the one I was focusing on. But yeah, that would like having it upright like that would make this well, it'd make the whole base nice and open. Be able to see like Earth and all the other planets wherever the fuck they are, there they are. Yeah, so that was the idea. I don't know. I'm gonna keep playing around with some ideas. Come up with a new mechanism for this top blast door cover, and I don't know. We'll go from there, I guess. So I will bring you guys back with another update. All right, so I've got a couple of other designs to show you. I wanted to test the underground mechanic, so I sort of built this platform just to sort of simulate it without having to drill out voxel, because I wanted to get the design down before I actually do any drilling. So imagine this is the ground level here, which seems fairly accurate compared to where it lines up on this block. All right, so I've got this design here where the top blast door slides out over the top of this one. To make this work, I had to shrink down how many windows we had. So we've only got one set of windows, but it still opens up the base and we still get a really good view. And I like it because it slides like it's a sliding mechanic. It's not a opening mechanic with like a rotor or anything. And then I've got this design here where I kept the double windows, but to get this one to work, because if I was to slide this one, it would end up coming back into the roof too far. So this would have to be extremely wide. So this one, I've got the top section is on a rotor and it sort of just comes down and sits on top. Which isn't too bad. The only issue is like we would have like I would have to build some sort of a tower for the door to sit in, whereas this one, when it's retracted, there's not a great deal to hide. I mean, it's fairly compact. So it just sort of sits in there. The only thing we'd have to do is this section here. But when it comes to the one on this side, I could put the mechanic on this side, or the mechanism. So they would sort of interlocked, and then we just have this sort of bulgy area where I can hide all this mechanism. Whereas the door mechanic, where it opens up on a rotor, like there's no real way to hide it. It's just going to be this massive blast door that sits up. And essentially we'd have a lot of dead space in here as well. I think it'd be harder to hide this rotor as well. So I'm leaning towards this design. Yeah, so I think the next step is to replicate it on this side. So we're using the same mechanic on both sides, and then that'll give me a good idea of the minimum amount of space that I need in the middle here to fit both of these mechanisms in. And then I will try to cover it up with armor as well, because I don't want any of it visible. That was the whole point of like hiding this one in the ground, because then that way this is all underground, we'll never see it. And this one here should be okay to hide. See how it goes though. G'day guys, welcome back. I have a design worked out. All I've got to do is place down a projector so I can project the blueprint, because I did blueprint it. So I fell down a rabbit hole, a scripting rabbit hole, which is why I guess last episode took so long to come out, because I spent a day just messing around with a script I was making. Essentially, I was sick of the fact that like whenever you move something really heavy with a rotor, it always bounces on the limit. And I was so sick of like setting up landing gear to lock it and all that sort of shit. So I made a script that watches the rotor, compares its angle to its limit, and then as soon as it hits its limit, it locks the rotor. It was pretty cool. I learnt a lot about scripting, trying to do it, and it was working brilliantly until I realized that if you had a limit at a negative angle, it would throw it off and it would just start locking and unlocking constantly. And I couldn't get around it. I spent hours trying to sort it out, so I gave up on it. But it's not essential for this anyway. I don't know. I just, like I said, I fell down a rabbit hole, and yeah. So all right, let's get the blueprint set up on this. Okay, now because it has those blast door pieces on it, it's not going to be able to build the whole lot, but it will do the key thing that I wanted it to, which is the rotors, because the rotors have the exact angle that I need for the blast doors to slide up on these very specific angles here. So all we'll have to do is place down pistons and the actual blast door block on it. All right, so let's get this rotated around to there, I guess. That looks good. Yep. All right, cool. So let's turn Bob on and we'll let him get to work, and then I will oh, actually before we do that, oh, okay. Yep, thank you game. Would it be beneficial to dig this out before Bob builds it? It might be. I don't know now. Nah, we're still going to be able to get to it, even if there is armor blocks here. Jesus, what a jump. All right, Bob. I got some work for you, buddy. Oh, actually, is he going to be able to build that? I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get all of it. Let's have a look in here. Yep, good as gold. All right, cool. Okay, I did do some mining off camera as well, just getting some gold because I upgraded the solar panels of the Ma, and I realized that I was burning through a lot of my gold on that, and I need gold to make the shield components as well. So I mined up some more gold, and yeah. I've left that for now. We actually have quite a bit of power coming in. What's wrong, Izzy? I got batteries there, buddy. Well, anyway, we got 9.6 megawatts coming in. 9.6 just on this small array here. That's awesome. Yeah, so I think this design came up really good. I did spend a long time doing it. It wasn't just making that script, which I'll probably never use. Yeah, I did spend a long time. So I've got some space up here. I'm going to put a turret. Because essentially, like, I've had this mod installed for ages because I wanted to use some sort of a modded weapon. And I like the idea of these because they're energy weapons. I don't have to make all this crazy different ammo for it. So I'm finally going to put some of those down. And yeah, so I've left enough space to do that. And there is some heavy armor in some key locations. But it's not going to be like an absolute fortress. All right, well, I'm going to let this go and I will bring you guys back when Bob's finished. All right, it looks like Bob is finished. Let's go and check it out. All right, before we go and check it out, that's for future builds. I was waiting for steel plates a lot. All right, turn the lights on. So this is the view that we get from the window. I think that's, you know, that's broad enough. It's definitely not the dome that I first imagined. But it is very open. Definitely more open than I normally build. So imagine that on the other side as well. So we'll have two of these pieces. Jesus Christ. Oh, that was the game saving. All right, so in here, that's probably going to have to move. These should be set up. Yeah, I might have to remove that piece. just until this gets into place. Yeah, it might be all right. That didn't look good. Oh, that's because I've got both the lower limit and the upper limit set to 27 degrees. That's fair enough. AR. Top 27. Yep. All right, so we will lock you in place. We'll get this one into place as well. Just unlock it. And obviously we're going to attach pistons to this, but you can sort of see where I'm going in here. I obviously didn't take this too far. In fact, there's like holes and shit in here, but you won't really see this. You'll mainly only see like just a little bit of the front there. I guess I could finish that off if I really wanted to waste the steel plates. Because essentially I won't be able to do this once the blast door goes in. So I need to build it now if I'm going to do it. And is that really needed? I don't think that block's really needed. Do we want to go another one? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think you're going to see it unless you're looking for it. But anyway, let's get the piston on here. So she's going to be sitting up there like that. Share inertia tensor on. -1. You are 8.5 for maximum distance and 1.1 for minimum distance. And I think what we'll do is we'll build these blocks in now. So yeah, that's the right way. Holy shit. My game, it really does not like me. All right, so let's get a couple of these going and then we'll extend you out. Did that push up against the... Oh, I think this is 7.5. Think. Oh, I can't even remember now. Okay, so it's obviously got to be there. I tried to make it as easy as I could to you know. All right, let's go and do that. I'm gonna forget, and then I'm gonna get trapped in there and die. I've also cut down to 1 hydrogen bottle because basically we don't need the extras because we're not fighting with so much gravity. Yeah, hydrogen lasts for ages. Shit, I can't remember how far this is. I think this is where it turns. Yeah, so now we do our turn. All All right, and that's the top one done. Okay, so I've got I'm gonna put some point defense. Actually, let's do it now because I do have them on here. Do we want them in? I think I want to do them in white. So as far as I know, the point defense will just shoot missiles. Now there is enough space up here to put one of these big boys, but I don't think I'm going to do that just because I don't think we have the required power to support it. Actually, I think it goes there. But we will put a couple of these smaller ones down. Yeah. And then you could imagine the big boy in here. Just put that down as a... Yeah, so yeah, it'll look really, really mean, I think. No, don't do it, Bob. We can't afford that. Take it away, Bob. Take it away. And finish this off, will ya? Jesus Christ. Going on. I put extra speed modules on the assemblers because they were struggling to keep up. Steel plate. 58. Jesus Christ. Okay, while we're waiting for that, I'm gonna drill out this hole, I think, in here. Okay, yeah, I'm not 100% sure how much of this I need to drill out. It's going to be tricky to make it look good. This is very disorientating. Like, look at that up there. You can tell those blocks are slanted, but all this looks nice and straight. So it just, I don't know, yeah, it throws you off. But realistically, like, that's the way we should be looking at it. Could we make this look any better? Not like that, that's for sure. Possibly. Might look a little bit nicer. Unless it pokes through at any point, in which it won't. Yeah, there is just there's a giant hole outside of our base. That looks terrible. All right, whatever. Let's get a piston in here. So that one's got to go that way. And I've got to find out what's causing all that lag. I have a bad feeling that it's actually Ma. Yeah, I think that's meant to go down to 0. Oh, maybe it's 7.5 and 0. And this one's 8.5 and 1.1. God. What a nightmare. Okay, so this bad boy here. 0. How's that look? Yeah, I think that's right. And then this one needs to meet up with it. -1. Maximum distance is 8.5. And 1.1 as the minimum. We'll extend this out so we know how far we need to dig. Yeah, I'm guessing it's Ma because like she has so many subgrids and stuff on her. So we might have to give her up, unfortunately. Which is a shame. All right, that's it. That is it. It doesn't look quite as cool as I thought it would. Just this section here, like having this thing come out of the ground, like transitioning from the ground to a man-made structure. It's just not as smooth as I thought it was going to be, and I don't know. Is that right? Looked like it had further to go. No, that's right. 1.1. Okay. And let's get both of those in there. And just so we can see it in action, we'll put a button here. And maybe some lights so we can see. These are just temporary lights. Yeah, there we go. At least we can see. Okay, let's set up the button here. Oh shit. The game.
Energy low.
All right, so that's basically how it looks all closed up. Looks pretty good. Oh, you can't do that anymore? You used to be able to set your character up to look at the button, and then if you hit F7, you can control your character while you're in spectator cam. But it looks like that does not work anymore. All right, well. A grand reveal. Yeah, I like it. Now these god-awful things that I've put up here, these big like slopey bits, they it's mainly so I can hide this because I've got that piston that goes all the way up through there. And I wanted it to match because technically I don't need it on this side, but it looked very odd if I didn't have this section here the same. Yeah, I think that's turned out pretty cool. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, we need to finish all this off. I didn't bother designing this because I didn't know what it was going to transition into. I had this in my mind, like that's what I could see, so that's what I wanted to produce. And we have actually quite a bit of space up here, which we might be able to utilize somehow, even if it's just for decoration purposes. Holy shit, what the fuck is going on with my game? Oh, it's crazy. I think I might have to restart or something. But yeah, we're gonna leave it here today. I think we produced enough. I think it turned out pretty good. I'm happy with it. I'm not looking forward to building more of these. Why do I do this to myself? Just a fucking masochist.
Energy critical.
Yeah, so I guess I'll have to replicate this on the other side, and then we'll have to tie it together somehow. So I hope you enjoyed this, guys. As always, don't forget to lead your targets, and I'll see you next time.